Hi everyone, I'm Carl McLean, a senior combat designer working on elite specializations for End of Dragons. We're here today to preview some of the abilities for the upcoming Mesmer elite specialization, the Virtuoso. Let's jump right into it. To begin, let's briefly cover the profession mechanic changes. From the start, you will no longer have access to clones. Instead of creating clones, the Virtuoso will stock a blade on themselves for use with their blade song profession abilities. Phantasms will still initialize, but will stock a blade instead of creating a clone when they finish with their action. We'll have some brief demonstrations of different ways to gain blades during this preview. Now, let's go look at the Virtuoso's weapon, the dagger. The first skill for the Virtuoso's dagger is a consistent projectile attack called Flying Cutter. Instead of a payout of a 3 auto-attack chain, any target struck by 3 of the projectiles it launches will receive multiple additional attacks on the third impact. The second skill of this weapon is Blade Call. This ability spreads daggers which pause at their ending point, or wherever they collide with terrain, and then return to the Virtuoso for a second attack. If the blades strike an enemy during this ability, you'll stock a blade for your profession abilities. Here you can see a blade stocked above my character's left shoulder. Then stocking a second blade shows another above my right shoulder. Unstable Blade Storm is the third ability, dealing pulsing damage along its path and hurling blades at enemies within its reach. Okay, let's use some of these stocked blades we've accumulated. Blade Song Harmony is the Virtuoso's most accessible blade song, expending each stocked blade separately over a period of time that deals damage to your target enemy. Blade Song Sorrow. Each of your stocked blades readies itself, then launches toward your targeted enemy to strike them simultaneously, while inflicting confusion. We'll rebuild a few of our blades after this by switching to a greatsword, then using Mirror Blade and Phantasmal Berserker. Blade Song Dissonance. Combine all your blades into a single strike that dazes enemies. We'll regain a full set of blades by using the utility skill Blade Renewal. Blade Turn Requiem will block for a short time and deal damage to nearby enemies based on the number of blades stocked. Your heal skill is called Twin Blade Restoration, which throws daggers at enemies and grants bonus effects if you hit foes with them. As covered before, Blade Renewal will grant distortion and fully stock all blades that can be used differently for each of the blade songs. Rain of Blades drops daggers on foes for its duration, punishing enemies that remain in its area. Sword of Decimation is a single impact in an area to strategically immobilize enemies. Psychic Force is an area attack around the Virtuoso that pushes enemies away. And finally, 1000 Cuts as your elite skill is a fire and forget line-based damaging ability that requires foes to stay in its narrow path for full effectiveness. So there you have each of the abilities that the Virtuoso can harness for the expansion. We'll cover the traits another time. We're excited to see how the daggers fly when you get your hands on this burly elite specialization. I've been Carl McLean, and on behalf of ArenaNet and the Skills team, thank you, and we'll see you again soon.